Radio Hereford FC, the only station with full match commentaries of the Bulls. Every game, every week.
Hello again, and welcome to Going Down the Pub with me, Frank Williams, and the silent assassin himself.
Yes, well that's different, isn't it? Oh, just call me Vlad the Impaler. Nobody does, so you can start, you know.
The ground guide guru. Everybody knows you as Mr. Simon Wright.
Talking head.
Yes. We're here to talk about our next away game, which is a week on Tuesday. The date is the
29th, I think.
The 29th.
29th, yes, getting close, isn't it?
Yeah, and we've got another away game to fit in at some time, because now the North Lee match is scheduled for the following week.
Is it really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so...
There you go, hot off the press, I didn't even know that. Good job I got the script written.
Yeah, well, we won't do that tonight, we'll do that at another time. We're here to talk about Mangotsfield United FC.
Commonly known as the Mangoes these days.
Yeah, getting a bit of a pickle with them.
You rehearsed that one.
No, I promised I wouldn't say chutney, but I didn't. Damn, I've done it now. Never mind. The Mangoes, they are indeed. And a lot of our information is courtesy of the chairman of the Supporters Trust, Mr. Richard Tompkins, who lives very close to their ground. Thank you, Richard.
Lovely to be able to walk to a ground where Hereford are playing, eh?
Yes.
Us exiles.
Well, we could. If we left on Wednesday morning, we might get there.
Yeah. And I know we've been, greedy because we had Lights a couple just over a year ago, but we enjoyed it so much we wanted it again. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a bit about good old Mangotsfield. Now they started in 1950, so
that makes them a year older than me.
I was going to throw in a joke about, do you remember their foundation?
No, I don't.
You're there already.
But they may very well remember mine.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, they made the start in Bristol and District League Division 7. I mean, who knew?
And I presume that must be the bottom division.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Bristol and District League Division 7. I'm just trying to imagine what that must be like. But, that's we might call it something of a long haul from down there. But took them a while, as you can imagine, half a century. But in 2004, they got to Step 4.
And when you think about it, that's quite meteoric, really, isn't it? When you consider, when you consider some teams have been in existence for 110 years. Home Lacey, who have played in the Challenge Cup on this Tuesday night.
More Noisy Neighbours.
Yeah, that's right. But that club is over 100 years old.
Good.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Really. So
played same league all the time.
Yeah. So they have reached as high as Step 4.
Step 4 and Step 3.
Right.
They got to Step 3 basically one season after getting to Step 4. They got the taste for it, So they got in Southern League Prem. They were there for 5 years and relegated in 2009. Been back in the Southern League, South and West ever since.
So they do know the ropes of this league. They know the way around it, and they're always there or thereabouts, aren't they?
Yes, they've got something about them. I think probably because they've got such a decent youth setup. That always helps generate, a line of talent.
Yes, because there's a connection with Hereford.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
I had to rummage long and hard for this, but yes, who remembers Chalky White?
Absolutely.
Yes, Chalky White.
Started off at Mangotsfield.
He did,
and he was in the same team as at Mangotsfield.
As one Gary Megson.
He was indeed.
Sends a shiver through me right now, but there you go. Yeah, goodness me. Yeah. I had that guy's death stare a few times, but never mind. Moving on rapidly, that's not relevant to what we're talking about. The Mangoes, as you were saying, they all seem to be pretty close to having a go. This season they've played 7 home games, they've won 6 of them, which is impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Solitary defeat by Shortwood the other week.
Yeah.
Now their bad patch seemed to coincide with the absence of Lewis Powell, their top goal scorer. He had a 3-match ban and they lost all 3. Of course, he's back now, typically, because we're playing. By normal standards, as i.e. not John Mills standards, by normal standards, he's got a phenomenal scoring record. He's got 14 goals in 14 games this season, and 130 goals in 200 throughout his career.
Sort of Mills-esque, isn't it?
It's not
getting
far
up
off.
there.
Yeah, but he can't. Once he starts scoring 50 a season, then he can call himself a goal scorer. Meow. Yeah, manager of the Mangoes is David Mayhew, who mysteriously is called Boris.
And we don't know why he's called
Not
Boris.
really. I mean, I've seen pictures and I sort of understand. He doesn't look.
He
Not
hasn't,
Boris.
he hasn't got 8 legs.
No, he's not a Boris Johnson either. I think
right.
he looks like a sort of Russian Boris, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the usual bit of keep it in the family. His son Ollie is on loan from FGR, Forest Green Rovers.
Oh right, okay. So it
was a great arrangement, isn't it?
Hey, this David Mayhew, the manager. What a career! He's that had, right?
Oh, yes.
In 1983, he got an England under-16 cap. Yeah?
Yeah, that's
when he was at Leeds. He was only at Leeds till 1985. He made no appearances. But from 85 to 94, a 9-year career at Bristol Rovers, made 222 appearances, scoring 63 goals. That's pretty good. A pretty good record. He then went to Exeter on loan in 1994. Only played 7 matches, no goals. And in 1994 he was transferred to Walsall, where he made 13 appearances, and then his career sort of spiralled out of control a little bit.
Manically.
Because from 1995 he played at no fewer than, these clubs: Northampton, Yate, Bath, Farnborough, Rushden and Diamonds, Forest Green Rovers, Bath City, Clevedon, Portland Rovers, Brislington, Weston-super-Mare, Bitton, Bristol Manor Farm, and he ended up at Gloucester.
Do you think he was collecting them?
I think he was, but then he managed Gloucester from 2008 to 2014.
That's a
so
stretch,
that's he's got quite a background in certainly in local knowledge, which is strange for somebody born in Camberley. But then
okay. Camberley. Okay.
Yeah, he's 49 now.
Yeah.
So quite a journeyman, I think.
Yeah, and looking to visit Russia anytime soon. We're talking Boris, but another interesting member of the matchday staff, matchday assistant John House.
John House. And he's built like one, is he? I don't like to comment on other people's build, but mine being not so good myself, but let's say he's a mature guy, and he's got a huge white beard. And I just imagine he's going to be very popular this time of year. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, just a red uniform and away he goes, He looks the part.
Now, of course, they've got a huge, major problem,
haven't they just?
Yeah.
You look through look for their squad, no Jamies.
Not anyone to be seen.
I mean, how can you, a manager of his experience, overlook not having any Jamies in your team? They're going nowhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting a bit carried away, even without Jamies, though, because the website recently claimed they were breathing on our necks just a few weeks ago. Well, did you feel any hot Bristolian breath?
Well, no.
I'm not sure I did either.
Actually, we're sitting in the wagon and horses at the moment, and it reminds me of a trip that Keith Hall made to this area a couple of weeks ago when we met.
Oh Lord, yes, place hasn't recovered since. Yeah,
we met a Bristolian. We won't go into the details about that, but we were sitting in a brewery at the time. There was a bit of breathing on our necks there. Anyway, okay, back to Mangotsfield, the ground.
Yeah, the ground. Yeah. Okay, it's the Doug Hillard Sports Stadium. Now, good old Doug was a very popular former manager, and I think he latter days actually run a sports shop in Bristol, which is quite well known. A few hundred yards from the centre of Mangotsfield. Not that means anything if you've never been to Mangotsfield, mind, but
no, but it's handy if you're going to, mind you, it's a Tuesday night game. But if you've got time off and you can get to Mangotsfield early, and park up and have a look around the town. It's a short walk from the town.
It's a decent place, yes. Yeah. I've got a personal irritation. This is the only ground that my wife has been to and I haven't.
Really?
Yeah.
But of course she was down that way for a long time.
Yes, she was. She lived down there for many years now. She has protested many times. It was 20 or 30 years ago and she doesn't remember anything.
She won't remember what it was like.
No, she won't, but it's still a sore point.
She remembers you.
Yeah, just about. When I'm in. When I'm not. With a euphemism, I'm broadcasting again, but there you go.
Now, you've written down here, mate,
yes.
The ground is next to a new housing estate.
Yes, that certainly wasn't there when my other half lived in
Well,
here.
at least the ground hasn't been gobbled up by housing estates, which has happened to a lot of grounds down in, that part of the world.
It's... Mangotsfield was a village. I think it's grown so big it's almost joined onto Bristol now. But this estate called Emerson's Green. Look out for it because if you find yourself in it, parking might not be allowed. So we understand.
Right.
Decent ground. It's all those years in step 3 have helped. Covered accommodation all 4 sides of the grounds. You know, the time of year, this could be very grateful for that. And they say they've got a capacity of 3,000 and nobody's arguing. It seems quite a decent ground.
Yep.
300 modern seats, three covered terraces to choose from. You know,
right. That's
you can.
And not a bus shelter to be seen.
No, not at all. You can do 30 minutes in each covered terrace if you want to.
Yeah. What about disabled access?
Oh, it's absolutely great. You know, they've got level concrete pathways all the way around. No problem at all. Few other interesting details. Admission is a very reasonable £8, £5 if you're a bit elderly, free if you're under 16. Very decent programme, £2. In theory, they actually make it available as a free PDF, but they seem to have forgotten that idea because they've put nothing on the site since September. But it's a very readable Wimborne type shaped programme.
Right.
Really down to earth.
Good.
And interestingly, Mangoes have just started filming their matches, so there could be a choice of viewing that night as the BBC, mate.
There'll only be one choice of listening, though.
Yeah. Well, I just imagine their film crew and our film crew.
Yeah, well, because the BBC
shoving out, pushing each other. I want this spot. I want that spot.
BBC Hereford and Worcester, or Harriers and Warriors, as I've heard them called recently. BBC Harriers and Warriors will not demean themselves to travel outside the county for that. So
why would you want to support
your fix will be on Radio Hereford FC.
Why would you want to support the best supported club in their patch? Why would you want to be there?
Absolutely, yeah. Parking, well, night game, you don't want to be stuck, do you? So it's not too bad. There's 80 vehicles, space at the ground, all free. After that, there's the inevitable egg chasers next door, as ever. It's the southwest. There's more bloody egg chasers. This is Cleve RFC. Appears they're actually not at home, amazingly. So they may open their car park. If it is dry, there's a meadow. That's meadow without an end, of course. There's a meadow that they can open up. In that case, if it's a meadow without an end, it's just a field.
Yeah, it's a very big meadow. Yeah.
Provided it's dry, that could be open to us as well.
If it's wet, there's a car park for local playing fields 300 yards away. But I'm not sure on street parking. Traffic wardens are a bit keen around there, so be careful.
They should be all right for parking. Right?
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? But it's a big game.
Yeah, no, refreshments. It's quite a big on-site clubhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a feature for the village, really. And I think they get an awful lot more people going to the bar than they do going to the ground. It's got a full-time bar steward. No jokes there. A full-time bar steward. No jokes there. It's the genuine bar steward who works full-time. And it's a very big social club. It's got 2 function rooms. Frankly, we could get our entire support in there by the look of it.
2,750?
Well, thinking of the away support perhaps, but yeah. Now, we're not absolutely clear on what they're selling, but website pictures indicate, sadly, that they seem to sell Worthington, Carlsberg, oh dear, Brew 11, oh dear, and the rather strange Natch cider. Natch, Natch. Now that's the Somerset cider, they're apparently mysteriously popular in Bristol.
Right, well, if it's a local one, it might be half decent.
Well, it's Somerset though, so, unless they're using Hereford apples, you do wonder, don't you? But there you go.
You do, really.
Yeah, because it is close to the town centre, a few hundred yards away, you do have a fighting chance if you get there reasonably early. We do recommend, or in fairness, Richard recommends the Salutation Inn at St James's Place. Those sound like
that sounds very, very
yeah,
posh,
Salutation. Salutations
in St James's Place.
It sounds like central London, doesn't it? But, this serves Exmoor Gold and Bath Gem. I'm not familiar with Bath Gem. Are you familiar with Bath Gem? Is that something you have in the bath, actually?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I've heard of it. Oh gosh, it's just bringing back a little memory from something I read last night on the on our Facebook page. Beers there. Apparently, it's reasonably good.
Okay. Well, good. They do Thatcher's, being that part of the world, and they do Bulmer's Cloudy Apple.
Nothing wrong with Thatcher's apart from the name.
Put your teeth on edge, isn't it, to be honest. It sounds like a really, really old inn, goes in history traced back to 1660.
A bit like Richard, really, who gives information.
Yeah, it's similar sort of vintage, I mean, you won't mind, really, but...
No.
They sadly...
He does listen to these.
Oh, he does?
He does.
Now you tell me. They don't do any food in the evening, sadly. It's only till 3 o'clock.
Time is going to be tight.
Well, that's right. I think you know, doesn't seem to be any cake outlets at all, as far as I can see in Mangotsfield. So it's not terribly great.
They all close at 4:30 anyway.
Exactly. So. There are a few sort of fast food places if you're desperate, really. There's the usual pizza, Indians, chip shops, etc.
Travel.
What?
Richard called me again the other night, live, not just by email. He called me a bit of a traffic warning. There's been trouble brewing in Bristol for quite a long time with roadworks. For the new Bristol Metro bus scheme, which has led to closures of part of the M32 and the ring road. The reason is they keep putting it off because they think it's going to be too wet to do it. It's now coming up to the end of November, and they've now decided no, it's not going to be too wet, and they've actually started that. We would Richard suggests Junction 1 will have roadworks, but nearer the time, do check with Highways England website. All right.
I had a look.
It can alter on a daily basis.
I had a look today, and basically there are roadworks that closes a lane. If that's what it is, probably can live with it because they're only there one junction. But please check it. It may change. Going by road is your best bet, to be honest with you. Theoretically, you can go by train, but it's one of those you really have to be very keen to go by train. You can catch the 2142 back if you don't mind missing the end of the game, and if you've got a taxi on standby. Because the ground and nearest station are 6 miles apart.
Bristol Parkway.
Parkway. Now, expect to pay £15 each way taxi fare.
£30 return.
Yeah, it's just about 4 times the cost of getting into the game, so it really gets started a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to catch a later train, there is one, but I wouldn't recommend it because you've got a 90-minute wait in Newport in the early hours, which you don't want to be a 90-minute wait in Newport during the day.
Not even if it was 90 minutes of football match.
No, exactly. So I think it's very much you're better off with Reg.
You're better off with Reg.
Yes.
And Reg has told us it's going to be 15 quid, and the coach is leaving Edgar Street at 5 p.m.
Very reasonable.
Sounds like a deal, that.
And it's 65 miles, folks, so it is reasonably doable, provided
it's a lot more for us. There we go. Yes. Well, that's about it. That's been good
roundup.
Full of information. That. We haven't got in a pickle with the mangoes after all.
Oh, God's sake.
We will catch up with you very soon for our emergency North Lee, which we're going to have to put together. That'll be out probably in a week's time, and we look forward to hearing any comments you might have.
Comments are good.
Yeah, comments are good. As long as they're good comments.
Oh yes, we like good comments. Not that we're biased.
No. So we'll see you again soon. Bye now.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match Day Live.